First, let's start by subscribing. Animal Farm, author's description and book contents. 1. About the author George Orwell. George Orwell, known by his real name Eric Arthur Blair, was a British novelist, essayist, and journalist. Born in India in 1903, he wrote works based on socialist and anti-totalitarian ideas from his youth. His representative works include 1984 and Animal Farm. Orwell delivered a powerful social message through his works, criticizing
Human
political
nature
oppression
and
and the absurdity of society. Animal Farm is a fable-style novel published in 1945 that criticizes the Russian Revolution and the subsequent Soviet regime. Through this work, Orwell sharply examined the corruption of power, human greed, and how revolutions deviate from ideals. 2. Overview of Animal Farm is a story set on a farm that depicts the process in which animals try to escape human rule and create their own ideal society. The work conveys a political message through the events that
Rebel
occur
against
as humans and establish their own government. 3. Summary of key content. Part 1. The beginning of the revolution. The story begins at Manor Farm. When the farm owner, Jones, gets drunk and neglects his animals, an old boar named Old Major tells the animals a dream. He argues that animals should be free from human exploitation and form an autonomous society, and calls for solidarity among animals. After Old Major's death, the animals decide to start a revolution to realize his ideals. Part 2. The corruption of power. After the revolution's dictatorial rule, Napoleon ousts Snowball. He justifies his privilege by saying that pigs are smarter than animals, and forces more and more labor on the animals. Napoleon revises the 7 Commandments, and the animal's ideal of equality gradually disappears. Part 3. The failure of the revolution as Napoleon more and more tyrannical. He uses hunting dogs to suppress opposition, and the animals live in fear. Napoleon and his supporters. The pigs strengthen their relationship with humans and use the resources obtained through the animals' labor for their own pleasure. Theme and message. Animal Farm deals with several themes. There is the corruption of power. Orwell vividly describes how power becomes more corrupt as it becomes more concentrated. Napoleon started a revolution for the animals, but ended up exploiting them to maintain his power. Second, there is a gap between ideals and reality. The animals dream of an equal society and start a revolution, but their ideals disappear with the corruption of power. This shows how revolutions can stray from their initial ideals. 5. Conclusion. Animal Farm, a work that contains deep insights into power and human nature. Orwell delivers sharp political criticism through this work, making readers reflect on the corruption of power and the failure of revolution. This book has a timeless message and still influences many readers today. If you subscribe, I will try harder and do better.